All right, Nate, pack your stuff. You're moving out.
Oh, baby.
All right, Nate, you and I jumped into a game that is a little unique and yet familiar at the same time. This time we're talking about moving out. And honestly, I can relate this to one of the best creative titles out there, Overcooked. What do you think of this title?
Oh, man. So, we tried the trial about a month ago, and immediately I love the style, I love the humor that they brought, much like Overcooked. And now that I've got my hands on the full game, man, I love this game. Through and through, dude. It is hilarious and just a great time all in all.
Yeah, it's definitely got that familiar feel, the Overcooked kind of genre that they've kind of created and then taken off, and it's really exploded into something that's really cool. But this is a completely different developer this time around, but they've taken something that is familiar and made it their own. And the fact that we have to go around and you are essentially a moving company, but you don't exactly move things in the most gentle way, we'll say, right? You're crashing through windows, you're throwing stuff. It doesn't matter if it breaks. Well, some things do. But for the most part, you're busting your butt, kind of trying to get through these time challenges as quickly as possible. But man, these challenges, hey, dude, these things are tough.
Oh, man. So to start off, the difficulty of the game, to complete a mission isn't that hard. But to get a gold star, or, 3 stars, as we usually know, it is next to impossible, man. And I find, with Overcooked, I'm going to relate to this one because, it's a similar
I think
kind
we
of
are
game.
a lot, honestly, throughout this review. It's just so familiar. It's hard not to relate it to Overcooked.
Yeah, absolutely. But playing single player in this game, I found it was a little bit better. It's a little more accessible, but to get 3 stars on single player is much harder than I found having 2 or more people. I only got to play with one other person, my girlfriend, and then you got to play with, your son and Crystal as well. So
exactly.
You said playing with 3 people was easier, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, so you can play up to a total of 4 people, but in my instance, so I tried solo. It was hard to get a gold stopwatch. It feels almost impossible solo. I think you can do it, but at the same time, it's really challenging. With 2 people, I was able to do it. Crystal and I were able to get a couple, but not too many. But then the minute I picked up a 3rd, my son jumped in as well. We were able to tackle that and get a lot more of them rather quickly compared to where we were struggling beforehand. You kind of get your idea of what you want to do. It gives you the layout of the land, per se, of the house or the farm or whatever you're kind of moving out at the time. Or eventually when you head into outer space. Like, there's some cool level designs. But as you jump around, it kind of shows you, first of all, what you're there to tackle. And some require 2 people to move because it's just too heavy. Or you're going to struggle doing it on your own. Or you can, pick up the lighter things on your own. So you only have a couple options of what you want to do. But at the same time, you require 2 people to move things a lot faster.
Yeah, man, and that's where this game requires a lot of good communication skills because you really need to kind of plan out your move and plan out how to fit it all in the truck. That's what I found was probably the most difficult thing, was fitting everything in at the same time, man. It was so difficult.
There are certain situations where you are given like a smaller truck. So all of a sudden you look at all this stuff and you go, man, there's like 4 couches, a bed, and all this other stuff. And you're like, how am I supposed to fit it in? But then Crystal and I figured out the mechanic of you just throw everything. So you grab a couch and everything just builds up, right? So it just starts kind of climbing up and you're able then to stack a lot more things within the truck. But when you're given something at the very beginning, I found it didn't really show you how to toss stuff, but we kind of caught on relatively quickly. But at the same time, it was like, man, how are we going to fit everything
honestly,
in here?
Dude, I loved their tutorial. They had their whole training video, because they get their tutorial was a training video for as if you got your new job, starting a new job as a mover. And just it tags along great with the whole sense of the humor with this game. I was laughing almost every time between dialogue or between missions when they had the little dialogue pops. Granted, there's no voiceovers, but with this game, they're so minimal and it's just not needed. It was, I just thought it was so funny, man. And even in the loading screen, they actually had, they added some humor or even a couple little tips.
Yeah, for sure. It's lighthearted and family friendly, right? So everybody can jump in, up to 4 people, and have a great time. And it's got this ragdoll physics kind of mechanic to it, so you're so like, man, you're like all over the place and you're trying to move things, but trying to fit a bed through a tiny doorway is such a challenge. It is one of the biggest struggles within the game, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it is. But honestly, what I found with the map design in this game is that it's often about you trying to find out the shortcuts. So whether you have to throw it through the window or throw something and let it roll down an avalanche hill. I just thought it was incredibly clever, their mission design.
Heading back into the mission design, Nate, the way it works is you go to the mission or the house, residence, whatever it is, to pack up and move out. But then it's a matter of accomplishing that in 3 different time frames. So you have your gold, silver, and bronze. And then once that's accomplished, it then unlocks another set of challenges, bonus features that allow you to go back and replay the level, which then unlocks other features like an arcade and a couple other things, kind of give you like these mini games, right? So there's so much replayability here because I wrapped up the campaign, and when I went back to see my actual percentage, it says I'm only 34% done. So the campaign's finished, but all these challenges, and it's not a matter of going back once to do the challenge, it is several times, because these challenges will be faced with break all the windows, and then after that, don't break any windows. Right? And then, there's all kinds of things. So there's so much to do. I thought they had, like, the map design I thought was pretty clever, going around with your moving truck and just smashing and plowing through everybody. Man, it's one of the greatest times is just plowing through everybody to get to your next house and things like that. And just, I thought the game was actually really well done. I had a blast playing this thing. Dude, I loved the game. I thought it was great.
Yeah, dude. And you want one more thing just to add? I love the character design in this game. They are absolutely hilarious. You get this guy named Ramon, and he's literally a little cup of ramen noodles. Ramen noodles. But anyways, I loved a lot of this game, and I thought it was great. But one thing we have to just briefly mention is there is no online co-op mode.
Yeah.
That, unfortunately, is the one thing I think that's really going to hinder it, because my brother was going to play it with me, and he asked me if he could pick it up, and I'm like, sorry, man, unless you come over right now. But
it's 4-person couch co-op, not online. There is no online mechanic whatsoever. There's no competition. There's no leaderboards. There's nothing along that line at all, which I kind of felt it would really thrive from having that feature within the game. Because, dude, I booted up this game thinking, cool, I'll meet you online. Let's move some stuff out, right? And no, instantly there was just nothing there, and I was like, oh crap. So I reached out, asked if that would be a feature. We have yet to hear back on that, unfortunately. So hopefully they're going to take that and go, yeah, you know what? I think that is a feature that we are missing, and hopefully they will implement that. But that is right now one of the biggest drawbacks of the game, is that I'm not able to play, especially right now, with everybody being quarantined. If you don't have a household that's kind of gamer centric and everybody wants to couch co-op this kind of thing, then you're kind of out on your own right now, which is a little disappointing because it could thrive by bringing in 3 other friends with you and playing online. Well, Nate, moving out was a great experience. I think we had a great time playing this. We had a familiar feel in these ragdoll physics with all these crazy characters and storyline. We had a blast. What do you score in moving out?
Well, man, this game, the only thing that's hurting it is the lack of online play with co-op play, with your friends. But that all to say, this game is getting a 9, man. I loved it. Everything else was fantastic.
That is funny. I thought the overall story, and then you finally feel the wrap up of it all, made a lot of sense. I had a good chuckle out of it. I thought this game had a sense of humor that was it's lacking in a lot of games right now, and I like the lightheartedness of the game. I'm there with an 8.5.
Nice. Moving Out is an almost perfect couch co-op experience that is challenging, hilarious, and innovative, hindered only by the lack of online co-op.
Promise to help each other, celebrate the joys of life, and to console each other.
Mankind has been moving and lifting objects since the dawn of time. Welcome, new employees, to the Smooth Moves family. This is your first step to becoming a certified furniture, arrangement, and relocation technician.